All right. All right, everybody. Hi, welcome back to Behind the Leg. We're here, Jess and I, in our robes. I'm probably gonna be on and off with this robe because honestly, it's cold, but it's warm. I don't know. It's windy.
It's warm because we have the dressing gown on.
Yeah.
It was cold, and then we put the dressing gown on, and now I'm warm.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna take it off, you're gonna get cold.
No, I'll use it as like a blanket or something. Oh, there's another blanket here. All right. So today, as you guys saw by the title, we're gonna talk about competing and what it takes to compete and what you need and
preparing yourself if you've never done it, or returning, or expectations, or if you have nerves, how to combat them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
and the outcomes of it, I think about like dealing with whatever happens on the day and how you take things.
Yeah, that can be, it's a big, I think the biggest difficulty for me is actually going there without thinking about the scores. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest difficulty, is I go and I think about the scores.
But to be fair, that's kind of what, okay, so this topic came up because I'll be competing, like we're returning to like competing for the first time in about 12 years. So this coming weekend, and Red being a complete wealth of knowledge, going and competing a lot and everything, you know, I just thought it'd be good if I can bounce some questions off, she can give me some advice, and also everybody out there, we can have this kind of conversation around this type of thing. So I'm taking a young horse that that Red and I own together. Now, I already know that this horse, you know, we've got to do some training. So I already know that my expectation can't be to get those scores and to win. It's his first competition.
Yeah.
You know, so I have no idea what it's going to be like in the environment. But that's still not going to stop me from being disappointed if I don't get those scores, right? So back to like what you were saying, you compete a lot. So I think like you now know kind of what the atmosphere. I mean, look, we can't ever really know exactly what our horse is going to be on that day, because our horse can be bomb-proof and perfect, but horses are horses. That you've only got that horse that you have that day, and something can happen, and the horse can be completely different. So I don't think it's fair to say that you're going to ride the same horse, you know, all the time. That's not fair to say. But being that you've gone through this a few times, your expectation is, your focus is going to be more toward the scores, because that's what your goal is. Whereas my goal is just to, like, not get killed, and then, like...
I don't think Jeff would ever really...
Oh, no, he would kill me.
Type.
No, I mean, like, if anything happens, it's because I could, like, stay on. Like, it's got nothing to do with him. He's not dangerous at all.
No.
And he's not... stupid and doesn't do anything naughty ever. So if anything happens, it's my own stupid fault. But again, retard. Like,
I don't know. I think the reason that I mentioned not focusing on the scores is because I hyper focus on the scores, and I find it detrimental to me.
Always? Like,
Almost
since
always.
your first... Is it the score or winning? Because I don't really care what my score is, as long as I win.
Score. I want to beat myself.
Yeah, see? I just want to beat other people.
I
don't care what my score is, as long as I'm better than everybody else that was there. But
yeah, see, that you can do. That, I think, is probably easy. Like, I came home, like, that ribbon and this one.
That's a pretty color. That's like fuchsia.
I know. And there's
what
this
is
one
that?
as well. That second. This is 5th, I think.
Is 5th always fuchsia? Because if it is,
No.
I want like a whole rag of fuchsia.
And all 4 of these Carlton ones were all. I hated every one of those. Actually, no. These ones I did. I liked.
You weren't one of those competitors that go and get your ribbon against like 50 or 60 other people, and you placed in like the top 6, and you like walk away swearing under your breath.
If I feel that I didn't ride the way that I wanted to ride, then yeah. Like
Mm.
I don't really care if I beat people. I just want, I want to, firstly, I want to ride my training. I want to ride my training. I want to make sure that I ride my relaxation and my suppleness and my rhythm and all of this stuff that I work in my basis of my training. I want that to be there. And if it's not there, I'm pissed. If I don't have rhythm and suppleness and relaxation, I'm like,
But the thing
my
is,
training is out the window.
you're training so much on that because it doesn't exist much when you're out. So then, like, to say that you want to, you can get that relaxation in that when you're at home majority of the time. So it's like, it's hard because you should be almost training in the training environment.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's why I've been going up to the VEC so much, because I go, and I go to a place that is different and there's lots of traffic and lots of stuff happening and tons of distractions, and my horse is just performing better and better in those environments. Like, he performs better distracted at the VEC than he does at home in the indoor. In the outdoor, he's awesome. But in the indoor, he's like, there's a scary corner over here. I don't know if you saw that, but I don't like that. I'm like, okay. There is nothing there. And he's like, excuse me. There was a light there 15 minutes ago.
and now it's gone, and there's something going on.
And so the indoor is like the scariest.
Mango.
Alrighty, so we had a slight malfunction as per usual. We're just gonna have to keep our eyes on the thing. So we're just talking a little bit about training at home and trying to train for new environments and keeping your training for relaxation and stuff like that. And then you kind of brought up what you think we should do, like what you feel like in a competition environment, what should you do in different situations?
Yeah, we all have goals of what we want to happen when we get there. Obviously, we're going to a competition because it's a competition. Everyone's like, if you say you're competing because you just want to go and have fun, like, seriously, then go have fun. Like, do a clinic or something. Like, you don't do a competition because you don't want to place. Like, sorry, I didn't understand that.
I like being judged. I like my training being judged. I like someone saying, like, yes, your training is improving, or your training is not improving.
It's so hard, though, because it's always a different judge. Like, if that was the same judge, it'd be more satisfactory to know that because that's...
Yeah, but there's a standard. I'm just going to put the dog away. But just try and recap a little bit of... What?
Whoa, you keep all your tests.
Of course I do. Out you go.
Ouch. Oh my god, that's so good. That's a good tip. Today's tip, keep your dressage tests. That's actually really good. That's a good idea. Yeah, I guess, like, I would be lying to say that I didn't care about, like, if I placed or if I won. But ultimately, the purpose of going is to take this horse for its first competition, and for me to go to my first comp, it's the first time. So ultimately, I should just say that I'll be happy if we can both just go and have a peaceful outing.
Yeah.
And, get in the ring and do our test and get out, no matter how ugly it is.
So
I should say that.
When it comes to a dressage test, I'll kind of explain it for everybody in the back row that doesn't do dressage. You get a piece of paper, and it starts by telling you what you have to do. And each segment gets a score out of 10. And then you move to the next movement, and then you get a score out of 10.
And a comment.
And a comment about why. Sometimes you get comments, sometimes you don't. But usually comments about why you got the score that you did. The other thing that I can make a statement about is you can make mistakes in your tests. Like, let's say my horse shied or had a spook or something, and I couldn't make a 20-meter circle at that point. They can toot the horn or ring the bell, and then I'll get
Is that the same thing? Ringing the bell and tooting the horn, does that...
It depends on, if they're in a car or if they're in a judge's box.
Oh, So they're not going to ring a bell in a car.
No,
Okay, so
Yeah.
it is the same thing.
it's the same thing.
Right.
So you get cumulative errors. You get 2 errors if in your first. You get -2 points. In your second, you get 6 points in total, so -4 points again, and then 6
Mhm.
points in total. And then your third is elimination.
Okay.
So
After you eliminate,
you
Is
cannot complete your test.
okay. Can you do anything?
No, you can leave, and then you can fix it in the warm up.
Okay.
And that they may not be as strict on an unofficial, but that's usually the go. And sometimes, like at an unofficial day, when I went to the unofficial day, I did my first test. I went in, I said hello to the judge, and then she says to you, okay, just
Right, I forgot all this stuff. Oh my goodness. So the last time I competed was Pony Club. So you present to the car window first, don't you?
Yeah. So
Okay,
you go
I'm not in a car. This place
car
is a indoor.
Yeah, but the car will be at the end.
Oh, it's big enough for a car. They're gonna.
It's open.
Oh.
The side is open.
Oh, so there's no sides.
Just 2 sides are open and 2 sides are closed.
Okay.
Yeah, so the car will be at the one end, and you just ride in, and you go up to her and say, hello, I'm number blah, and then she looks at your number, if it's on your bridle or on your saddle blanket.
And if I don't have a number.
You usually are eliminated if you don't have a number.
Okay, so at the start of the day, that's when you present to the office.
Yeah,
Is that right?
and then you get your number.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you put it on your bridle or your saddle blanket.
Yeah.
So if you're doing an official EA competition, like mine, my horse has a number for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So I've got saddle blankets with just the numbers embroidered on it. And then I don't ever have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Except when I go to unofficial days, and then I've got these stupid numbers on my saddle blankets. And then you present to the judge, and then they'll say, all right, you go ahead and I'll toot the horn when I'm ready.
So am I going to be allowed around the outside of the arena before I present to the judge?
What I do is I go down, present to the judge,
And then go down the other way.
and then I book it to wherever I think it's going to be scary.
Yeah.
And then I just...
Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, it'd be great to do that before presenting, but you can't, yeah?
No, you got to present first,
Mhm.
and then then they'll toot the horn, and then you have 40 seconds to get into the arena to start your test.
What if you could, what if you have an issue before you enter?
I just try and work it out.
In the 40
seconds that you got.
Second.
You gotta go in.
So that's straight up elimination, or is that going to your first?
Get on in there.
All right.
If you can't get in, then yes, it would be a retire moment. So when you want to retire a test, you just look at the judge, halt, and salute, and then you leave.
Right.
But you're not allowed to do anything after that.
Is the salute still the same? Because
Yes.
so many things have changed. Is this halt, hold the reins in one hand, right hand down to your side, and nod your head, right?
Unless your whip is in your right hand, then salute
I'm
with
not
your
going to
left.
ride with the whip.
I didn't think you were going.
Yeah.
So yeah, unless your whip is in your right hand, you should always salute with the hand that does not have your whip in it.
Uh-huh.
EA and FEI do not have a preferred hand necessarily. Most people salute with their right.
Right.
Yes, and like I've saluted while trying to stop and kind of wobbling sideways.
Right.
Been like, thank you.
It's so not going to stop now. It is going to keep going.
But know that it always looks better than it feels. Because I have retired from a test. Hold on, let me see if I can find it in here somewhere. I have retired from a test, and the judge came out of the judge's box and said, are you just a little lost? And I was like, I was out of control. And the judge didn't see that I was completely out of control, and that part kind of blew my mind. I was like, wow, maybe it isn't as bad as I think it is, you know? So
Where does your test caller have to stand?
I usually C or A. I mean, not C or A, E or
B.
B, yeah. But in that circumstance, they they stand
A
at.
test caller, by the way, is someone you can ask to call out the movements of your test if you have a bad memory, like I do. And they yell out the movements prior to you getting to that point so that then it reminds you what you have to do next.
So this test, I retired both these tests, and there are 6s and 6.5s
Is that
for some
good?
of these.
I don't know.
In EA dressage, for a pony, a 65 is quite good.
Mm-hmm.
For a warm blood, a 70 is pretty good. In the lower levels, once you get past kind of, so this prelim, novice, elementary, medium, advanced, and then, wait, I'm missing one. Am I? Maybe not. I'd have to think about it. And the lower levels, prelim and novice, and then elementary the scoring gets harder, so it's like 67s and things like that. Start to be quite good for the warm bloods, and then medium is scored harder, and then advanced is scored quite hard, and then FEI is obviously FEI. So like for a pony, a 6.5 is pretty darn good, you know. And I get 7s on free walk. I get a lot of stuff like that. So here, this one, I got like 6.5, 6.5, and blah, blah, blah. Still got a 6.5 for my half circle, 10 meter and trot. She just said hurried. 2 minutes later, I retired from that test. You know, so it doesn't look as bad as it feels. Just like this one, I still got, you know, I got a 6 for my free walk and a long rein. And then I did my working trot, and then I picked up my canter, and then I retired. Same here. She just put disobedient, which means you're going for a ride.
I like it how, like, that was a comment on the horse, really. Disobedient.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't me.
No.
It's just like, he was born shaking. And they're, you know, the comments are always really interesting to me because they're just consistent for me, but sometimes inconsistent for other people. So I always get consistently the same kind of answers. But yes, so talking about a test, if you said A enter working trot, X also C track left, that whole bit is usually one score. So if your line is crooked and wobbly and you just, no, doesn't matter, just move on. Don't get stuck back there, because the only thing that matters is at this very moment, what am I doing? I just have to ride the horse. And I got that from a friend of mine, actually. She said it to me last night. I was talking to her, it was her birthday, and she said, when I'm going to competitions, I really just have to go, just ride the horse. Just ride the horse. Yeah, now you have to put your left leg on because you're riding a horse, you know? And that really hit me. Like, maybe if I just rode my horse and stopped riding the test, I would ride better.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best advice I've ever received. This is an unofficial test, and as you can see, there's like, the scores are quite a bit higher on the unofficial tests.
Oh, you got an obedient there.
Yeah, but that was a different horse.
I was looking at it going, wow, your scores have really improved.
Different horse and a level 5 test. Like novice is a little bit different. So the most recent, this one's the most recent test that I've done, I think. And so they have another thing, it's called a coefficient. So that's double the points.
What's that mean?
So this A into working trot X halt salute is 1 set of 10. This track left half circle is another 10 points. Then lengthen stride and trot and working trot here is another 10 points. Stretchy is 10 points times 2.
Oh, so they're like more, they really want you to get that right.
Yeah, they
Right.
want you to own that stretchy trot like it ain't no thing.
Because if you own that, potentially you could
That's
screw up on like 3
20
other
points.
things. Yeah.
That's 20 points, and I got we're not even going to talk about that particular score there. But then I do my free walk, and I always get a banging 7 for my free walk. Love a good 7. And I got double the points for that. And then again, I do my working trot and then my canter. Yeah, banging. I got another 14 for that. And like, if you can just focus, make your focus like each piece, the part that you're just in right now. And every time I mess up a bit of my test, I just go, oh, well, that score's gone. I can only focus on there's another 10 points right here I can get. I can get these 10 points. I can get these 10 points. And that's what makes me so score obsessed. Is
Right.
because I think about it in little tiny chunks.
Yeah.
Manageable chunks.
So what about the general? Okay, so you're saying your general overall goal for the comp is points now.
I want to get more than 59 because I'm so notoriously stuck at 59.
Okay.
Some judges give me more than that, but it has to be cumulative of both judges at an EA competition.
If you get more than 59, do you find that you're still getting upset because you didn't place, or you're
No.
still not, like, you don't change? Because I have a feeling like I'll go there and I'm like, all I want this horse to do is not be hot when he arrives. Or all I want is to be able to get on and just roughly half make it around our test, and I'll be happy. Like, as long as I can say he was cool, calm, and collected the whole day, I'm fine. I'll go there and say that, but if I end up like the bottom of the people that I'm competing against, I know it's gonna change. I'll be so upset with myself. So like, how do you stop that? Or is that just like a personal?
I think that's a
thing?
personal thing. Like I don't care where I place. I went to a Tree Haven competition one day and I wrote a test and I was like, this test is banging! And I was like stoked on my test and all my friends were there and I was like, did you guys see that? And they were all like, yeah! And I was like, ah! And I had Tim there and he was like, yeah! You did it! And I was like, yes! And then I got the scores and I was like, 59. Same as always. And I was like, but it was so banging. And you couldn't get me down.
Oh,
Didn't
okay.
matter. I was like, you know what? My horse did exactly what I asked him to do. And it was great.
Yeah.
And then, and yeah, I still will remember the fact that I went to Tree Haven and had a really good time that day. Because I felt like my horse was awesome and he was obedient and we were doing things together. And it was good. I look back on that and go, yeah, there's a lot of tension issues we had there and lots of, stuff that I've already worked through. And that makes me excited to go to the next one. Because I want to prove that my training has gotten better. And that's what everything is to me. I just want to show that I've been training my horse and we're doing a great job.
Someone said to me the other day, and it's such a simple thing, but it really resonated with me. She said, I just love the equine industry and just everything about it so much. She's like, when I was competing at 3-star, I was the girl that walked around to all my competitors and said, it's wet in that corner.
Yeah.
Just watch out. She said, I'm not that person that cared about, I just loved the competition of it and the fact that we could all be super competitive but care about each other at the same time, and caring about the horses and caring about the riders and just the genuine
Love of the sport.
Yeah, love of the sport. She's like, I have a genuine love of the sport and the people in it and the everything it takes, because you've got some sports where it's all about you as an athlete, and I think in this sport it's not. We're working with an animal that can't, particularly depending on what side of the fence you sit on this, can't speak English to us.
Yeah.
So like, we're not only trying to communicate with an animal, we're dealing with two athletes, enjoying them as one and expecting them to do the same thing, and one's a human being and one's an animal, and it's just like, so it's crazy. And that really humbled me to hear her say that, because I was like, that's actually pretty amazing.
I am that
I'd love to
person.
be that person.
The same thing. I went to Tree Haven, and the lady who rode the test before me, and I'm really aware of what's going on around me all the time because I'm a coach. You know, like, oh, that horse looks really hot over there. I'm just tootling along doing my own thing. Oh, that horse is hot over there. Oh, that horse looks like he's going to be a good buddy. I'm going to go ride near that horse. And then I can see other people going in and out of their tests and stuff like that, and I can see whatever. And I remember at Tree Haven one day, one of the ladies that was in the same grade as me, I saw her go in and she came out, and she seemed a little anxious, but there was nobody around like that was talking to her. She was just, and this really falls into like the community of the equestrian sport can either be such a great community or so isolating.
Whenever I've seen events, it's people and their grounds person, I guess you could say. Like, everyone brings a friend. You're either alone or you bring a friend. And you see those people that are quite obviously either with the same instructor or at the same stable, and they've got like a group of 10 people that are cheering and clapping, and then you've got one person that goes in by themselves and walks out by themselves quietly.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
And the equestrian sport can just be a really isolating sport. You know, you ride at home, or you don't have an adjustment, and you're
even when you do have an adjustment, it's so cliquey.
Yeah, it can be really difficult.
A lot of people are cliquey. Like, I'm not a cliquey person. I don't get into the cliques. I'm not invited. So like, you know, and having that, you know, the story kind of made me think, I really want to try that. You know, when I go out this time, I'm different as a person. I think I can do that. I want to spot those people. And even not, you know what? I've seen some amazing riders go in, and you would think that they would have everyone barracking for them. But you know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes they're there on their own as well.
Yeah.
And just because you're good doesn't mean you don't deserve to hear stuff back.
Yeah. And when I saw the lady at Tree Haven, and I was like, okay, that lady looks like she's doing a great job, and she doesn't have anybody around. So I went and said hello to her, and I told her that I thought her test looked really great, and she goes, "Oh, I'm an eventer. I'm kind of just waiting for the rest of the stuff to happen." And then I was like, "No, this is it. You can go just drink wine now." And I go and take her up to the like area where they serve wine and all that stuff. But it's like, it's different. It can be really, really isolating. It can be really difficult if you even just aren't normally in that part of the community. And it's a tough go. Like, dressage is also really close-knit, and people can, it's all about like who you know and who you train with and blah, blah, blah.
And who you're, oh my gosh, I remember going to an event, like a dressage day with a friend, and I was taking photos for it on the ground. And I remember going, and people were asking, you know, is that, like, they would walk up sitting on their nice pretty horse, and they'd be like, oh, is that a young thoroughbred? Like, you know, or a stock horse or something. No, it's a warm blood. Oh, really? Like, just little comments that you get. It's like, people feel entitled in that sport because they have the breeding or they have the...
Yeah.
But I remember going in and kicking some pretty top-notch people's butts on my thoroughbred that I had to train myself, you know, from the ground. And then you get people that buy the training and win. Yep. We've spoken about that before in one of our podcasts.
You get people who buy the training and lose.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a shame?
Yeah. Well, think about, there's lots of controversial training methods as well, and so many different types of training. I was reading about Tortillas. Yeah. And the controversial training methods that went into that horse. Artificial looking type movements and talking road care and all of that stuff. And then that horse was bought and ridden by someone else and had some injuries, and then they sent it to another trainer, trying to mimic the training style of the first owner, or the first trainer, the long or deep and short and low and round, and And then the horse, it was very controversial. The horse stuck its tongue out in the competition and blah, blah, blah. And like all kinds of crazy things. But just imagine buying and selling a young horse like that. You would have paid tons of money. Tons. And then he doesn't make it back to the Olympics. And he doesn't make it, because it's the pair sometimes. But no, I'm not saying that that particular pair was any good, because I don't believe in those training methods. But it can be just a combination of you and
we've had those horses. We found one the other day, where they go well. Your horse doesn't go well for me. It doesn't like my hot seat.
No. So funny. A lady said to me the other day, I was thinking about buying this horse interstate. I saw the video, he looked really great, blah, 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 blah. What do you think about buying a horse sight unseen in interstate from video footage? And I said, if you sent me a video of you having sex with your husband and said he was really good, I wouldn't marry him.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be there doing that because I don't know if it's going to work for me.
Yeah.
And
that's a great example.
She just laughed at me and she said, I've never heard anyone say that. But it's so true.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to marry you if I'm just watching you have sex.
Yeah.
That's
so true.
It's so true. And that's when for the back row, people that don't know much about horses, that'll really tell you a lot about buying a horse.
Yeah.
That is
or even riding in general, they just don't go the same for everyone.
No, it doesn't.
Hi,
okay. Mom, by the way. Sorry for that analogy.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about like expectations of going there, and have we already established what my expectation should be, just to like have him be the same there as his own?
Do not sacrifice your training.
Right.
Whatever you're doing, just decide, like, is this going to confuse him if I now ride him more, if I get after
The answer would be yes.
Yeah.
Because we're a baby.
Yeah, so then don't confuse him. Just keep doing it.
Just go out to have fun.
And ride your tests at home. Train for like 30 minutes and then ride a couple dressage tests at home and then be done. That's what I do almost every ride. So I like end my rides with a dressage test. I halt, I salute, I give my horse a big pat, and then I walk him out. Just like I was training it at home. I salute, I get tense and tight, I ask for the work that I'm asking for, I do everything that I need to do, my corners, my blah, 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 blah. And then I make sure that I only sacrifice the movement I'm making if it's going to improve the training. So if I'm doing a lengthened canter down the long side and I can't bring him back, I'll go, now I'm making a little circle and you're coming back. And then I proceed. But if I did that in a dressage test, I've got to teach him, no, this is where we come back.
Yeah. Okay, so other parts of like competing obviously is just like preparing. Like what do I need?
Okay, we'll talk about unofficial dressage days first. In Pony Club, we'll call it Pony Club and unofficials because they have open Pony Club. In open Pony Club, you can wear a show jacket, and it doesn't have to be your club colors, obviously.
Say that again.
Club colors.
Uh-huh.
And if you are doing an unofficial day, you do not need to wear a jacket or a vest. You can just wear a nice shirt. The more effort you put in on an unofficial day, the more respected the judges will feel. If you plat, the judge will feel that you have put in the effort to be there. More so than if you show up in jotties and a dirty t-shirt and don't plat and your horse has mud on it. You need to show respect for the judge who is spending the time to be there. And I think that's a really important part.
I honestly feel that preparation is part of the anxiety that, like, if you, like, I think it's important.
Traveling horses is the worst part of the competition. Period.
I just,
Getting
like,
the horses.
the washing before, the plaiting up, the getting dressed, like, builds anxiety, I feel, in the horse and the rider, and going there. Like, that's just not what happens on a daily basis.
So I groom my horse for an extended period amount of time each day, just as a whole.
Mm.
So he just becomes more and more pleased with standing in, especially when they're changing hair right now. Like, I am building all this winter fluff. Please remove the summer fluff so I can winter it up. My horse is getting clipped this weekend. That's how hairy he is. Already, completely.
Yeah, I think I
dynamic.
saw
So
in a video, I was like, oh, that happened quickly.
He's like, I am so hairy. But it's because I groomed the crap out of him. So, like, his coat just shed right out, new coat.
Yeah.
Every day I, like, take 5 minutes with my little mitten, and then I do the dandy brush, then I do my body brush, I pick up my feet, and then I brush his little face. You know, like, I just take time. And I trim his mane, or I trim his tail, or whatever. And I groom, like, I'll brush out his tail and his mane, and I'll put some spray in it if it needs it. And I spend that time always. So when I stand there and I'm there usually because I'm pedantic about my plaits, I am there for 2 hours. And he's like, well, this is only like an hour longer than usual, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
And then he's never really fussed by the fact that I faff.
Mm.
Sometimes he'll like go looking through things like, does this basket full of needles have any snacks? I'm like, can you please not? And he's like, but look at it. That's the only anxiety. Like, he doesn't build any anxiety in that segment at all. We just hang out. I find it like bonding time.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be, and it's like a massage for him, so.
Mm-hmm. So
Right.
I always just try and find you know me, I'm the bright side kind of gal. Love that bright side life.
So, okay, we gotta get all the gear right. You've
Yep.
run me through the gear, so, like, everything that I technically don't need. I just went out and bought everything that I would need for an official so that I could just have both, and then I don't need 2 sets for everything.
Yeah.
But, okay, so how much time should I be expecting to give? Like, what, like, I don't really know how to log the time because, you know.
So I do it backwards from my start time.
Mm-hmm.
So let's
But
say,
you already know what your horse is going to be like, generally speaking.
yeah, but
when
I
you
mean
get
when I
there.
brought Giggle or whatever, I just give them all the same.
Mm.
You get the same treatment. Everybody just gets the same stuff. You know, so I get there. So I give myself an hour before my test.
I was thinking at least 3.
No, I mean like
On the horse.
yeah, like I give myself an hour
Yeah.
on the horse before my test, so I count that as an hour. And then I do 30 minutes from off the float to in the yard to whatever I'm going to faff and get a coffee, check in, do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's an hour and 30 minutes that I need to be at the establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Then, however,
Let's just say for me at least 2 hours.
yeah, then do
At
that.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much transport time?
Well, it's from Bangham to Warragul.
So that's an hour with the float. Let's go with an
At
hour.
least, yeah. Mom's driving. Oh, well, I can drive, but
Yeah, yeah. So now we're at 3 hours.
Yeah. Getting on.
Getting on the float depends on the animal, beast, but
Yeah.
I usually allocate 30 minutes for that,
Mm-hmm.
and then I add another 15 minutes of faff time
Mm-hmm.
that is pre getting on the float, and then another 15 minutes of collecting my shit together, hay bags, whatever, brushes.
Yeah, I'll be there, like, doing all that stuff the night before, so I'm hoping that everything
Patching
is
the float.
just... Yeah, like, everything is just literally put in the car or whatever, like, float car.
Yeah.
So it's just get the horse on. Because more fluffing in the morning, I'm just gonna, like, build anxiety myself.
I just need everything to go really nice and slow and steady on a little pace. On my
So far,
own.
you're rushing me with your schedule.
Really?
Only because I've only ever had difficult things. Like, I've
Oh,
never had a
man.
good floater. I've never had, like, so all these things are just like, well, we need at least, like, 7 hours. Like,
See, I feel like that's always, and then I time to hook up floats. I always allocate 15 minutes for hooking up a float. If you're good at backing it up, if you're not, then allocate 30. And so yeah, but I mean, you've seen my diary. I'm always on time for everything. B, I am scheduled all the time. I have planned. This is how long it takes me to get here. This, and I'm really good at knowing exactly how long it takes me to do things.
right, so we're thinking about 4 hours.
Yeah.
So basically, I needed 5 a.m.
That's really early. If I had a 9 a.m. start, I would scratch.
Mm.
That's too much for me. I'm hoping I don't have a 9 a.m. start for like Carlton. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like, okay, Bonio, I'm coming the night before. Like you could not make me get up that early. Like 3 o'clock in the
That's
morning.
in Bangham at
Stupid.
5 a.m.
Yeah, that's like up at 3.
Yeah.
That's stupid early. No, I'm not down with that. I would.
But the thing is, with so many, like, I can't even, like, say to them, hey, can I have a later one? Because it's only going to be, like, 20 minutes different.
Yeah, because there's not. Yeah. Um, if the situation was different, like if like at Bonio, I know they have stables, so I'd just be like, hey,
I
can
booked a
stay?
yard, but,
They only have yards.
yeah,
You
like, I
can't
paid
yard.
for a yard, but
Yeah.
it's for the day.
Yeah.
They don't do the whole night before thing.
No, but Bonio does. So then
Well,
I
they
can
would
call
do
them
the
up.
night before thing if I was doing the Sunday, because it's Saturday, Sunday,
Yeah.
right? So if I was doing Sunday, he could have obviously stayed, but because it's Saturday, gates open Saturday morning, so they're not going to allow people dropping off at 5. I would have definitely done that, because at least then it's out of my mind about the time, how long it's going to take to get there.
You
I'm
know,
not worried
be
about
like
flirting.
cold, yeah.
I'm not going to be like worried about how he's going to be because he's had the night to settle in.
And
How
it's so
amazing would
nice.
that be?
It's
Maybe
so
I should
nice.
contact them and ask
Yeah,
them.
ask them. That could take a lot of stress off. Just be like, hey, it's a long way for us to go. Just wondering if I can yard overnight.
Yeah, because I've already paid, and I'm so early in the morning. Both of my tests are literally 20 minutes apart, and I've paid the whole day in the yard fees.
Yeah, you just call
So
it.
they owe me.
I wouldn't approach it like that. I'd be like, can I
I
pay an
was
extra
joking.
$10 and see if I
Yeah.
can stay overnight? But I mean, like I stable at Bonio almost all the time
Yeah.
because I love it. It's just like having your own like personal little hotel room.
Yeah.
It's like I can just be in here. I can change in here. You know, like
Yeah.
I can just hide. And they at Bonio they clean the shavings for you and stuff. It's just really nice. But
Clean the shavings.
yeah, like you don't have to take all the shavings out.
Oh,
Like-
I thought you meant like literally take the I was like, how upper class is this joint? I was thinking like take the shavings and like somehow put it in a washing machine and then dry it all and then
No, they're like
I was like,
they-
what? They recycle shavings?
they do the stable.
Yeah.
When you get there, it's already done.
Yeah.
Like at Werribee, you have to put in all your bags of shavings, then you have to remove it all.
Mm.
It's like, no thanks.
Yeah. You don't want to have to think about that as well.
No. So I'm going to do a 2-day dressage day at Bonio, and I'll stay overnight there, and he'll stable again. But it's nice. Like
When's that?
that's in a couple of months. May. I think we're gonna do it in May. But April we'll do Carlton, and that'll be at Bonio as well. But we're gonna do a special pony class because pony. But the other one, which is gonna be just us against the big kids. It's tough, like, but at least when I'm just against horses, I can go. I did the best I could with what I got, you know. And sometimes I do okay. Sometimes I beat half of the horses still with my little poon.
Yeah, I think if the judge was used to judging ponies or something, they would be more open to it. I guess it's like what your eyes are used to. Like if they've spent the last, hour or so watching massive warm bloods come through, then they see a pony that is actually a really big moving pony. It still adjusts your eyesight.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, you've got to like But he's a lot slower now, and we're a lot more relaxed. When I'm trotting, if I can't say the word "and" in between my ones and twos and threes and fours and fives, then I'm going too fast. Like, this is how much further along we are. We're like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Oh, that's good.
and-
I was thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
No, we're like doing pretty well. We're like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8.
That's
We're pretty good, and I just use that when I'm spending time in between letters going, that's what I, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's what I do. I count my strides in between my letters.
Yeah.
And I think that's a show jumper thing. You know, count your strides everywhere you go. Just count your strides, then you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I just count my strides. I count my strides in the trot. I count my strides in the walk. I count my strides in the canter. And that really helps me stop panicking in between the letters, because then I go, okay, I've got however many strides until I have to make a canter transition at C.
Mm. Oh, would you do the like, okay, let's just say, because I can spot a canter better than the canter and the trot strides. I can see them quite far out.
Mm-hmm.
So would you run it short? Like, if you were not going to come up, would you run it short, or would you slow the pace before, or do the transition after the letter? Like, I know the aim is to do it on the letter.
Yeah, your body on the letter.
Yeah.
So if you
So
feel,
this horse has a pretty big canter.
Yeah.
So his one canter stride could put you on the complete other side of, like, he's probably got 3 canter strides along the short side of the arena if he's lucky.
Yeah.
So, and that's in a, I mean, that's not a fully collected canter, but he's not doing that yet. He's young.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, what would you do?
I'd make the canter a little proppier to get it closer to the marker, because I think your downward transition is going to be nicer if you prop up the canter and then let him trot.
How does it score differently? Like, would I be better? Because a lot of the time with him and his strength and his education, at the moment, if you try and prop it up, he's quite likely he just, like, falls out. So, are you better to have a fallout of the transition, or a transition not on the marker? Like, am I better just to wait if I know and try and get that transition on the marker, or play with it and risk it falling?
So this comes to training. So Peter Fisher always says to me, don't practice shit transitions.
Mm.
You can make good transitions and put them on markers later in your training, but if you train crappy transitions on markers, they're more difficult to turn into good transitions. So don't sacrifice your training and make the transition a good one. And then put those good transitions on markers when you have enough training to do so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I know he's not going to make it, just is some, like, in the vicinity, just aim for what I can, but make sure that it's a
The
quality
transitions.
transition.
And it may not get you the better mark, but down the road, you're going to have an easier time putting those nice transitions on markers.
And my second test might be better then.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like...
And if you're training it at home, and you start putting that transition on the marker, you're going to build the habit.
Yeah.
I know that the arena at home is not the right size. Can you put a little arena in it?
No, it's a 60 by...
Oh, it's a 40 by 60.
Yeah, 40 by 60.
Oh, okay,
now.
then that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then practice it, and then just put it as close to the marker as you can by making that transition a nice one. And then he'll start to learn, oh, at C, we trot.
Mm.
And then he'll kind of gauge, you'll be able to kind of move that nice transition back to where you want it onto the marker in your training.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my recommendation for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm all ready.
I think you're all ready too. I'm very proud of Team Jess over there.
Oh, when I was
Jim.
registering
Yeah.
him, and, like, because I had to sign up to, like, this online competition database thing, and I got to put in all the things, and it was just really exciting because it was like earner/earners, and I got to put in, like, Red Curtis and Jessica Jade.
Oh, cute!
So, like, when people are, like, researching us because the test was that amazing,
Oh,
they could be
yeah.
like, the giant Jaffa. That's it. I got to say the giant Jaffa. That's his name on the papers. People look out for him, giant Jaffa. But earned by Curtis and Jessica Jade.
For like a brief stint until some.
Yeah, the most important stint is
Yeah.
now.
Oh yes, that's true. That's true.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it'll be really, really good for him, and I think you're gonna have a great time too.
Yeah.
If I could go, I would, but I'm working.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll have a videographer.
There's usually a photographer there.
Yeah, the weather's gonna be crappy though. I was so excited about trying to get some pro shots.
The lightings are nice in there because the surface is light.
Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. The surface is a light color, so the lighting always looks really nice in there.
Cool.
You can always talk to the photographer beforehand and like give her some money.
Really?
Yeah, and then they'll take extra photos of you if you're really keen.
Wow. Didn't know.
Usually it's like $50.
Didn't know.
Yeah. I have to do that for Carlton. I gotta contact the lady and I'll pay her $55, and then she says you get like a certain amount of professional shots. It's, whatever.
So how do I? This is interesting, people. Does anyone know you can bribe photographers? to
You
take
don't bribe
photos of
them. You literally pay them for their services. It's not a bribe.
It's like follow me around like my personal paparazzi for the day.
Yeah.
But then you still need to buy the shots, right?
Sometimes they include the shot, sometimes they don't.
So how do you get in contact with the photographer?
Usually for Randall, I think it's One Eye. They're usually on the thing, but you can just ask them for the details.
Okay.
The photographer is usually sitting there already, or you can go to the office and say, is there a photographer today? If so, can I get in touch with them?
Mm.
And that, yeah.
And you would say that's definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, especially for a horse that you're selling. I would definitely. And I'll split it with you anyways.
I think, because that's, we want to get him out, see what he's like out, give him the experience,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, because I got a photographer to come out to Ty and I's very first competition. And she came out, like I paid her to come out for us.
Oh.
Well, I won it actually. So I shouldn't say I paid her for photos later, but I won she said like photo shoot.
Yeah.
And then I was like, sweet, can you do it here? I'm already going to be
Yeah,
flying,
that's
so come
so
and do
cool.
it. And then we also did like a shoot after. So it was like me just loving his face.
I still love that, because, like,
That's what my
I've never, like,
Facebook
dressed
profile
up
is.
in the whole, like, outfit, so, like,
Mhm.
totally keen.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
well,
See you on the other side, people.
yeah, we'll tell you all about how it goes. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.